Hi again, folks. We're going to continue on with 1.2, and this is where I'm going to do a bunch of examples. Actually, notice how it says your turn here. I want you to try these few examples that are going to follow before you continuing. So if you haven't done so, press pause and give them a try first, and then continue the video, and I will walk you through the examples. Okay, so hopefully you have tried the examples. I've worked them out already, so we're going to go through them pretty quickly. So this question asks you to sketch the graph of g of x, which equals 1 over 4 f of x. So what happens in this one is that you're multiplying all the y values by a quarter or dividing them by 4. All right, so any y value that you have here, so you see this 4, that was here, it's going to go down and become a 1. And every point on the original graph, this was a 2, now it is multiplied by, or divided by 4, so it becomes a half. So it's right around here. I should have drawn it a little nicer, but oh well, next time. Okay, so all of those points, and then this is what ends up being your graph of 1/4 times f of x. Now for this graph here, it's h of x, it's f of 3x, and our x values are going to be divided by 3 now, and this is what the mapping notation looks like. So every y value that you encountered divided by 3. So over here we had a y value of 6, and now it's become 2. All of our y values, so this was 2, so we divide it by 3. And same here, this one ends up here, and this goes there. So you can see this skinny w ends up being h of x. Okay, now for the summary, I'll just show you what the summary is of these functions. So here it is. When you've got your negative out here, it's a reflection over the x-axis. There's your mapping notation. The original is in solid, so assume that was the original f of x, and then the dotted line is the transformed one. Okay, so you can take a second and have a look at that. When you've got your negative on the inside here. Oh, sorry, hang on. I'm not going to answer that. Okay, so this is the reflection over your y-axis, and your x values get multiplied by -1. And this is what the transformation looks like here. When your a is out in front, so you've got a number that's multiplying by all of your y values, this is how the change occurs. Okay, your y values are multiplied by that factor. This is the tricky one here that you need to make sure you remember. When it's on the inside here, we want to use the inverse operation. So it looks like it's multiplying, but really what you're going to do is you're going to divide by that scale factor that's there. Okay? And so this is what you end up with. Okay. So now this next question we have here, okay, I'll slide it down so that it doesn't spoil everything for you all at once. We have to write the equation of the transformed function. Now we see here the original function is f of x equals the absolute value of x. And in order to figure out what has happened or what transformation has gone on, we're going to look at a point and see where it went. So you can see that here we've got 4, 4, and then I've correlated it to this point right here. And you can see that the y values have changed. So how have the y values changed? Well, we multiply them by 3. So this is what our mapping notation looks like. And then we can use that and apply that to our function notation. If you want to write it in terms of the actual equation, that's what it would look like, 3 times your absolute value of x. All right, so now the next one here, it is a reflection. So you notice that the change that's happened is it's flipped over the x-axis. And now all of our y values were multiplied by -1 in order to make that change happen. This is the mapping notation, and this is what our function notation would look like, and this is what the actual equation of this becoming this is. So g of x is equal to negative absolute value of x. And our last question for this video is we actually, whoops, sorry, camera issues. Okay, so we've got f of x equals x squared, and what we see here is we're going to correlate these 2 points together. So what do you notice is happening here? Well, we basically took the y values and multiplied them by 4. Try to slide this out. And that's our mapping notation right here. This would be in terms of f of x, so 4 times f of x is equal to g of x. And then if we wanted the actual equation of the graph, we would have g of x is equal to 4 times x squared. All right, so happy learning, folks. Make sure you do your assignments for practice so that you remember what you're doing, and ask questions. Talk to you later.